Today's matchup is presented by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health Office of Problem Gambling Services. When every game time is time to game, easy can be a problem. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays wrapping up the first homestand of 2025. Sox needing the victory to make it a winning one. Walker Buehler hoping to do what Tanner Houck did last night as he picked up an outstanding performance in the Red Sox defeat. Hi, everybody. Dave O'Brien alongside my partner, Will Middlebrooks. Also, Tom Caron in a moment. The Red Sox, Will, came out of the gate against St. Louis in the beginning of the homestand and smoked the Cardinals. But for the last 3 games, the bats have gone quiet. What's been going on? Yeah, look, there's no way around it. Right? It's a tale of 2 series. And they came out, to your point, and the offense exploded against St. Louis. And now versus Toronto, they just really can't seem to find any consistency whatsoever. So, yes, all the numbers are ugly from this series. But the one that stands out, batting average with runners in scoring position, that really hurts. Just way too many strikeouts in spots where runners either need to be moved over to third base with no outs or less than 2 outs, not able to drag these guys in. And it's really been the difference in the series. Look, Toronto's been very good situationally, and the Sox simply have not found a way to get it done. The strikeouts have just been killing them. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. Walker Buehler looking for some early runs. He's been a guy who could end losing streaks in his career. Going to try and do it today. Red Sox have dropped 3 straight. Game 4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Offensively. Let's go back to yesterday during batting practice. We had David Hamilton mic'd up trying to find it with his swing.
Actually feels really good right now. I'm mic'd up just for everybody knows. I'm just saying. Everybody's mad at me now. I got you.
What do you say? Can I just grab
There you go, man.
a picture with him first?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Nasty shadow. That shadow crazy.
I can't see the ball.
It's really hard to see right now. That shadow's brutal. Let me know if you see something right here.
I will. I feel like at this point, you have the feel you want.
In the cage, I didn't realize. I kind of went out.
A little further?
Yeah.
It's, to me, remember, you're not like this. You stand here. If you hold the bat here and say it's like straight up and down, if you just go like that, that puts you in the position you want. It's literally like the difference between like here and here.
Gotcha.
It's like that much.
Yeah.
Like it's a much better position.
Yeah.
All right, thanks to David Hamilton, also to Pete Fatsi, who's talking there about those details. Well, Rafi is the one guy really going well right now as he has worked his way out of that awful slump. He needs some help. Red Sox up. Red Sox baseball on NESN, brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Plymouth Rock, the official auto and home insurance provider of the Boston Red Sox. WB Mason. Request your food service catalog today at WBMason.com. And by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Get your Viva Tequila Seltzer at all Shaw's and Star Markets across New England. Sunny, not warm today. And the wind at times brisk in from center field, but ready for game number 4. Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays will not have Vladimir Guerrero in their lineup. He's played in all 13 games. He'll rest today. As we look at our T-Mobile coverage cam, this is Derek White tossing out first pitch. The Celtics world champ and a big Red Sox fan.
It's always interesting to see these guys throw the ball because their hands are massive. It's like us throwing a golf ball. He actually looked athletic.
We had a lot of fun with him. He came up with us last year when we did the Monster Seat game, and he was terrific. A lot of fun. Look at the Blue Jay lineup here today. Bo Bichette will start it at short. Jimenez at second. Santander's the DH. Springer is back in there. He rested most of last night. He actually made it out for a change. And Toronto is rolling right now. They are atop the division at 8-5. Red Sox starting pitcher is brought to you by BuyAToyota.com. Walker Buehler, 1 win, 1 loss, and .868 earned run average.
So look at the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Alex Bregman at third base, Trevor Story at short, Christian Campbell at second, Tristan Casas at first. In the outfield from left to right go Jarren Duran, Cedar Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, and Carlos Narvaez doing the catching for Buehler.
Umpires today presented by M&T Bank. Manny Gonzalez will take care of home plate. Tossi, Culpa, and Blazer around the bases. We're available. The telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP brought to you by Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. And the weather forecast, plenty of sunshine today. It says mostly cloudy, but right now all sorts of sun, but only 46 degrees. And the wind has been swirling actually at the moment in from right field. Love it when the kids get together in the pregame. I mean, this is serious business now to say play ball. He is ready to roll.
I'll tell you what, 46 today with the sun out might as well be 60 compared to the last couple days.
I think for the players it's certainly true. There have been nasty conditions. Much improved today, but the shadows are covering home plate. We'll see if that helps out Walker Buehler as he tries to get on track. Swing and a drive. That one hit over the wall off the bat of Bichette.
Bichette loves jumping on that first pitch. He loves firing at that first pitch fastball. Gets one over the plate. Here you see a good view of that four-seamer actually up and in. Likely a ball, but when he's ambushed and he's looking inside, he's able to get the head of the bat to it.
One of the best hitters in the American League for sure. Jimenez next. He's slick fielding second baseman, 250 with 3 home runs. So Walker Buehler has never allowed 4 or more runs or 7+ hits in 3 consecutive starts in his career. He's trying to avoid doing both of those today. It has been a rocky beginning for a guy who's been such an elite pitcher over the years, but the first couple of times out it has been tough.
Yeah, it's all location, right? He's not walking guys. He's throwing strikes, but he's getting too much of the middle of the plate.
Rolled foul, 1-2.
Let's take a look at Walker Buehler's pitching arsenal presented by Audi. A lot of pitches there. I'm looking at that sweeper that he loves. He just does not throw it to lefties. He hasn't actually thrown a sweeper to lefty in 2 seasons now. I would love to see him use that. It's got a lot of good break and go back foot with it.
You wonder about velocity and coming back from Tommy John, and a lot of guys are stronger when they fully recover. They can pick up a mile or 2 on the radar gun. Another one hammered foul. A curveball there, 79.
Something today too is when you're pitching with these shadows and it's already almost to the mound, it's really hard to pick up spin. So as a pitcher, and you know that, you change speeds a lot because the hitters cannot see the spin on the baseball. It almost looks like a cue ball coming to home plate.
What'd you do on days like today?
Pray.
You did pray.
Sure. I would hope it'd be on a Sunday. I'd send my bag of bats to chapel, and then just hope there was a hit in there.
Sure. Need a higher authority.
Yeah.
Help you out. 2-2, wave and a miss. That fastball 95 to put away Jimenez. 1 away. Good sign there.
Yeah, that's a really good sign. That's what I was about to say. 95 on that four-seamer. You see that ride. It almost has that rising ability, that visual look to a hitter when it's at the top of the zone. You see it enter that dark space, and the hitter kind of loses it there for a sec. That could be a big pitch for him at the top of the zone.
So 1 down for Santander. He scuffled right away here with Toronto. You don't figure that's going to last terribly long, but he has not hit a home run, nor has Vladimir Guerrero.
Maybe not cold weather guys, although Vladdy's been hitting rockets all over this place this series.
Yeah, just not out of the park. Chopper along first, but foul over the head of Casas, and it's 0-2. Yeah, they have not been a home run hitting team, but the biggest reason the Blue Jays are leading the division at 8-5 and maybe starting to open some eyes around baseball is that they can pitch and they can play defense.
I was about to say they can pick it too. Obviously, adding Jimenez adds a platinum glover, but that makes everybody better.
He gets back in. Red Sox about to take off for Chicago after this game today, and a weekend with the White Sox, who have lost 7 straight games. Line shot, base hit into right. Bichette to second. He'll stop there with Abreu throwing behind him. He's not going to test that. But it is first and second. And Springer next.
Santander has looked better the last couple games. He's been a lot more balanced at the plate, not as much flailing at off speed. To your point, he can't stay down that long. He's too good of a hitter.
There've only been 2 games this season where the Red Sox did not allow a base runner in the first inning. That has been problematic, and now you have to face a guy hitting .447. And he's trying to go up the middle. Trevor Story with it. Flips for one on a first. Nice turn. Red Sox get out of it. Trevor Story quick to get it to Campbell and on to Casas for the twin killing. They continue to lead the big leagues in double plays. Red Sox lineup brought to you by Plymouth Rock. And we centered today on the DH Rafi Devers because he has tremendous numbers against the starter Chris Bassett. He is 7 for 14 with 3 home runs and 2 doubles against the veteran. 1-0 with a 0.71. Red Sox are hoping for a reawakening of the offense they showed against Baltimore and the Cardinals. But they're going to earn it today against Bassett. And Durant will tell you that. He is 3 for 15 off him. Jaron hitting .228. And in search of that first home run.
Something about Bassett pitching against Boston. So 6 starts since the beginning of 2023, pitching to a 2.37 ERA. Now compared to every other team in those last 2 seasons, 4.08 ERA. Something about facing the Red Sox, he locks it in.
He's got that unusual delivery, the setup, where he'll kind of hide the ball there, and the 1-2 off the plate. The Red Sox fanned 14 times last night. They lead baseball. That's almost 10 strikeouts a game. He's running full 3-2.
If you notice, he's got a good look at it. He's got that pitch calm on his belt on the right side, and he's going to it every pitch. He is calling his own game.
And a payoff coming. And struck him out. Not the way the Red Sox wanted to begin this ball game after last night. 1 away.
So look at the Blue Jays defense today. Ernie Clement at third base, Bo Bichette at short, Andres Jimenez at second, Will Wagner starting at first. In the outfield from left to right, Alan Roden, Nathan Lucas, George Springer, and Tyler Heineman doing the catching for Bassett.
Rafi step in at 265 with a home run. With a guy he has really liked to face, but again, those shadows Could be a major factor here for a while. Bregman on deck.
Yeah, Bassett's a very tough guy to face in shadows. As much as he changes, he throws 8 different pitches. Changes spin and speed a lot.
Raffy snaps the bat, a floater, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So even when he busts the bat and doesn't hit it square, he still winds up with a hit off Bassett.
Bassett kind of got that ball back and look at Raffy like, dude, what do I have to do to get you out? You see that changeup right there? Literally takes it off the top of his shoes. That ball might hit the ground so low. Raffy hits it right off the end of the bat, square, just snaps it in half, drops it in there. A little soft serve for a single.
Here's Bregman at 291, a pair of home runs for Alex. After last night's game, very much a stand-up guy, kind of pointed the finger at himself and said, hey, look, I had a couple of opportunities to come up with a big hit, win the game. Didn't come through.
That's kind of something this team has lacked, for a few years since Bogarts left, is the guy who stands up at the front of the room every day, win or lose, and says, hey, this is what we got, this is what should have happened, and takes accountability.
Very much who he is. Devers gets the lead, and this one popped up on the infield. Jimenez right around the bag. 2 out.
Let's take a look at Chris Bassett's pitching arsenal, presented by WB Mason. As you can see, that is what we call the kitchen sink. 8 pitches. He's going to focus with that sinker, cutter, curve, sweeper, splitter. He will occasionally show those last 3, but he is constantly changing speeds, changing pitch shape. That's what makes him so tough.
And no wonder he calls his own game with that selection. Casas waves through it. Tristan hitting just 163 with a home run. 6 for 26 in 7 games in April after starting 1 for 17 in March. But hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, I know they want him to be more aggressive early in counts. We've seen a lot of early count swings from him that weren't, it's not really his thing. You wonder if that's why he's kind of in between. Is he uncomfortable being that aggressive early when that's not really who he is?
And a block by Heineman.
I like him being aggressive, but he's just always been, I don't want to say passive, but extra selective at the plate. And I understand why you want him more aggressive. There's that power potential, that ceiling of 30 to 40 home runs. Of course you want him attacking pitches in the zone.
No score in the first inning. Put a good swing on that. He's 1 for 4 against Bassett. The one is a home run. You look up there and you see a 217 on base percentage for Tristan Casas. That's probably the most offensive thing for him.
Right. There's been a lot of 0-2, 1-2 counts, and then it's just battle mode, right? At that point, you get away from your A swing and you're just fighting to put the ball in play.
Jackknifes out of the way and a sinker. 2-2. Trevor Story would bat next. The Angels ran all over Tampa Bay in Florida today, 11-1. Another block, no advance by Devers. Angels turned 4 double plays in that game. Yankees are idle. Bassett, he's been a quality pitcher in his big league career. He was an all-star 4 years ago. There goes Devers, and in there for strike 3. Puts him away with a cutter. 2 strikeouts for Bassett. On to the second inning at Fenway. No score after one. Yeah, Walker Buehler back at it against Will Wagner. If you played in the big leagues and you have a major league son, there's a pretty good chance he's going to play for Toronto.
No kidding. Don't forget about Kevin Biggio, who was here.
That's right.
He's elsewhere now, but
his dad was a great player. Saw him for years at multiple positions. His dad actually started out as a catcher, then played the infield, finished up in the outfield. Terrific player, 3,000 hits. 0-2. Sharply foul to the tarp.
I was talking to Carlos Fables, third base coach for the Blue Jays. Obviously, he was here with the Sox for a few years as a coach here. But talking about Will Wagner and his work ethic, he's like, man, these kids who come from big league dads, they're just different. The work ethic's different. They understand how to be in a clubhouse, the rights and the wrongs. They have such an advantage when they get to the big leagues because they don't have to be taught anything. All the unwritten rules, all that, they understand it already. It's in their DNA.
Sure. And they're calm in the setting. Nothing blows them away, right? They don't get rattled. They don't get anxious because from the time they were little kids, they were in the clubhouse.
This was normal. This was literally just how it was supposed to be.
1-2 on the way. Fouled off. And you can pick up certain skills that you can't acquire anywhere else. Like when Aaron Boone was a little guy and hanging around his dad, who was an outstanding big league catcher, he became an expert at mimicking the stances of the players, the Pete Roses and guys like that, to perfection. Good as I've ever seen. I don't think you get paid for that, but it's nice to have for entertainment value.
Good party trick.
And the 2-2. Lifted to left center. Rafaela and Duran will make the play. One man gone. Comforts of home presented by Bernie and Phil. Save 30% on a second item during the BOGO event. Red Sox on a homestand, 3-3. Started so well. Red Sox have made 9 errors, though. So similar as far as what happened last year when the Red Sox began on the road, pretty much flawless defensively, came home and started making a lot of errors. That really bothers the manager of the Red Sox in a big way, Alex Cora, because he's constantly preaching, it was all through spring training, this is going to be a better defensive team. The Red Sox have great confidence it will be because of plays like that from Bregman. They know that he's going to make a lot of plays.
Yeah, the left side of the infield should be really shored up, and the throws have not been great so far. You know, I don't want to blame it all on the cold. I know that's a part of it, but all teams have to play in it, especially here in this series where the Blue Jays have dominated every aspect of the game, and they've been playing in the same temperatures as well.
2 down, bases empty, and Roden the batter at 212, no home runs. Cleveland has already beaten the White Sox 6-1, so that's 8 straight losses for the White Sox.
Did you see how the White Sox lost last night?
You told me about it.
Tauchman came around third, pulled a hammy. He was a tying run, was going to score.
That is a fair ball on the chalk down the line. It'll ricochet back to Abreu, and Roden will be aboard with a base hit with 2 down. Yeah, the White Sox invent ways to lose games.
Oh, man. The trip to Chicago could be coming at the perfect time.
Brings up Heineman. Two down and a base runner here for Toronto. Again, Vladimir Guerrero with the day off after playing in the first 13. So that's a break.
By the way, did you see, obviously we saw the 14-year $500 million deal. but it was like $325 million signing bonus, which benefits him as far as taxes go, I guess.
Right.
That's wild.
Revenue generated by some small countries.
Yeah, and
that's his signing bonus.
And let's say after 2026 with the CBA negotiations, if there's a work stoppage, strike, he's still going to get paid.
Well, it's a great deal for Toronto because there were several weeks there it looked like it was not going to happen, that he was going either to become a free agent anyway or get traded somewhere. But a great move for them. My understanding is it's relaxed everyone in the organization.
I'm sure.
And everyone has rather positive thoughts about this team and their first strike, around the Blue Jays.
And I think they were lost directionally as an organization if they don't sign him.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't bring him back, you're probably not bringing Bichette back. What now?
3-1 and a looper into right field for a base hit. Roden into second, a bobble by Abreu, so Roden's going to advance. He's into third, so he gets the extra base because of the E9. And with 2 down, runners at first and third. That's already 4 hits off of Buehler.
Rare error by Wilyer Abreu, and the runner didn't round hard at all. Wilyer, look at his eyes obviously on the ball. He doesn't know if the base runner is rounding hard or not. He just simply pulls his eyes up. That was a perfect shot of it. Taking your eye off the ball. You got to catch it first before you let it go.
So Nathan Lucas will climb in, just 167, but men on the corners. And now Buehler trying to hold. And trying to keep the inning from getting to Bichette, who's on deck. Shot but foul on the curveball. Buehler did get the win last Friday against St. Louis despite being charged with 5 earned over 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. He certainly was not sharp. Red Sox slugged their way.
Yeah, we'll say when your offense scores 13, that's helpful.
Liner caught in foul territory. Casas collects that, and that will retire the side.
Bottom of the second here at Fenway Park. Still no score between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays as Trevor Story steps up to the plate. You heard the guys talking. about the strikeouts. Had a couple in the first inning. Red Sox with more strikeouts than any other team after 14 last night, a season high. I talked to hitting coach Pete Fatse about that today and about the approach this team is trying to take with 2 strikes. As it goes back to team at-bats as Story gets a single here. Said with 2 strikes, you might have to sacrifice some slugging with 2 strikes, but you give yourself a chance to play with the whole field if you shorten things up to try to get the ball in play. But he said right now, it's pretty clear to see the guys are pressing. Everybody wants to be the guy. And Will, he said sometimes the best solution is not to be the guy, but to have 9 guys, everybody doing the small things. Don't try to do it all in one at-bat. They're hoping to change that today.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any might have to give up some slugging with 2 strikes. You should go to a different swing, right? You have your driver out, pull your driver out of the bag early. You take your shot early if you get a mistake. Once you get to 2 strikes, it's all about contact, especially when you have guys in scoring position, which we've seen a lot over this series. They haven't had a ton of base runners, but you have to take advantage of those situations where you can get a guy in by simply putting the ball in play.
Runner taken off. Story on the move. Here's the throw down too high, and he's got a stolen base.
And Heineman's going to argue that there was interference with Campbell here. Looked like he tried to draw a little bit of contact. Campbell was kind of hanging over the plate. A little look at here. Heineman tries to make a little contact. Didn't look like the umpire immediately said no, he didn't. I think that was more of an acting job by Heineman.
Schneider coming out anyway.
Also, in the midst of all this, they were asking, did he swing? He did not right there, but first base umpire just said, yeah, he did. So this is an 0-2 count, not 1-1.
With a man in scoring position, and he'll pop it up. On the third base side, here comes Clement in foul ground for the first out. Red Sox have been very good in the second inning. They've scored the 2nd most runs in the majors in inning number 2.
Well, the thing with the Sox is they got to score first. They're 3-0 this season. When they score first, they set the tone. They're also, their magic number's 4. If they score 4 or more, they're 5-1. Just hasn't been a whole lot of production going on outside of that St. Louis series.
Brings up Willier at 378. Good numbers against Bassett, 4 for 10. I didn't think we would ever say the way he started the season, say this line. He could use a hit. He's 0 for 12. Walked in the 10th last night. Red Sox could not bring him in. Little bloop shot on the run. Clement can't get there. So we check out today's storylines presented by FanDuel and all about Willier. 2+ hits or an RBI.
I like a Willier too. He's increased his walk rate by 10%. Went from 9% last year to 19.5% this season so far, and a lot of that has to do with the damage he's done early. Pitchers are being real careful with him.
Early he was ridiculous. Well, we're still early, but really early. He posted a 1492 OPS the first 10 games. 2nd best in Red Sox history behind Babe Ruth.
Okay.
In 1918. The Bambino 1574.
That's pretty cool. Just to hear that in the same sentence.
Story with a base hit and a theft. Red Sox continue to run very effectively when they're giving themselves the chance. Now 17 stolen bases. Foul on a play. Clement to give it a look.
Yeah, 17 stolen bases. Was it most through 14 games since 1918.
Red Sox get on. They are a fun, athletic team, and they can drive you nuts and wreak some havoc on the bases. Got to get on.
I'm about to say, but you got to get on.
1-2. Very soft curveball is 71 miles an hour. Tantalizing to strike him out. Two-way.
This is what Chris Bassett does, right? He throws the four-seamer, the two-seamer in the low mid-90s, and then 71 miles an hour. It's like this ball never gets there. And you know, there's a little bit of cloud coverage, so the shadows aren't terrible right now. Actually, that was the time to hit. That one just fooled Willier.
Cedar Rafaela, another cold start, 229, no home runs. 1-for-8 career against Bassett. And of the 42 active pitchers to make at least 4 starts at Fenway, Bassett has a 1.95 ERA. And that's the best among all the active guys with that many. So he likes this hill. Again, going to pitch calm and running his own show. Story at second. Laced foul.
Like that approach from Rafaela, though, trying to hit. That's the thing. The best hitters in the game, they get a fastball, they fire it to right field. You hang them off speed, they pull it in the air. Now, Rafaela obviously trying to work on his plate discipline, but at the same time work on the direction of his swing and his approach at the plate.
Maybe getting there. 5 for his last 9 as he takes one high. And 2-2.
Just with his speed, you know, he's going to be fine defensively, obviously, but with his speed, you just want him on the base paths.
Drew several guys in this lineup. Breaking ball and a pop up again. Jimenez out, so is Bichette, and Bichette will clinch it. So nothing comes of the leadoff hit. After 2, that's a great seat right next to Pesky's pole.
Sign your name on there. He might be a little young.
Maybe a few years away from that.
Spread some food on there.
Yeah. Bichette will lead it off here in the 3rd. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit. He hit that one to left. Last year, the 42% of his balls that he put in play, 42% of them went to the opposite field. He'll try to hold up, but he went. Then Jimenez and then Santander. Against Walker Buehler. Little blooper towards center. Racing out is Story to make the catch on the back pedal, and one gone.
anytime you can have Bichette off balance, which he was twice in that at bat, you're doing something right. Because as you know, OB, I mean, he's so balanced, and foul pole to foul pole, he's able to swing it.
Batting stats presented by your local Honda dealers. Jimenez 0 for 1 with a whiff. They give him a lot of credit for shoring up their defense. They've only made 3 errors. In play for Campbell. 2 fast outs here in the third in front of Santander.
They haven't had to play a lot of defense this series. As many strikeouts has been out there for the Sox. But to your point, man, you see the ball's on the ground, it's out, especially when it goes up the middle.
Former Oriole, the DH Santander, 1 for 1 with a single. So he fought just to get to 200. But you're talking about 44 home runs last year. Base is empty. Buehler has made 1 career start before today against Toronto, but that was 6 years ago. 7 scoreless innings, 8 strikeouts. The change up 2-1. Kansas City beat Minnesota 3-2 today. Milwaukee and Colorado 1-1 in the 7th. Bounder, but foul off first. And 2-2. Santander last year with Baltimore played in 155 games. It's career high. Only hit .235, but he drove in 102 and 44 big flies.
He's already showed it once this at bat, but I would love Buehler going back to the changeup down and away right here.
Fastball instead, 95.
He went cutter in the pitch before. He was early, pulled it foul. Just think that changeup down and away is not going to hurt you. If he makes contact, he's rolling that over.
Buehler looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He gets a swing and a miss. That was his sinker. And the throw on to first by Narvaez to complete the K. And he zips through the third. offense needs a jump start. So far, 2 hits against Bassett in a 0-0 game.
I want to sneak that mullet past you we just had up there, but we're going to back it up with that one, I guess, so never mind.
Narvaez takes a breaking ball. That very slow curve at 70 for strike 1. He'll be followed by Duran and then Devers. Red Sox have only scored 4 runs in this series. And facing a tough guy today, Bassett came in with an ERA under 1. This guy led the American League in wins just a couple of years ago, 16 with Toronto. Career mark of 72 and 56 with a 3.59 ERA.
Even 30+ starts 3 years in a row. He just posts, goes out there and gives you quality innings.
Fly down the right field line, but foul.
I feel like their whole rotation, you're looking at all these guys and you're saying, oh, the last 3-4 years, 31 starts, 33 starts, 180, 200 innings. It's like they're full of guys who just go out there every 5 days and do work.
Struck him out. Number 4 today for Bassett. Leadoff man here in the 3rd inning. Duran next.
Win big with the Red Sox Foundation 50-50 raffle. Buy tickets at redsox.com/50-50 through the 8th inning of today's game for a chance to win half of the net jackpot. See official rules for full details.
Jaron 0 for 1. He struck out to begin it. He will line that one, just foul off the chalk for strike 1.
I know it's cold, but need some homers, right? I feel like just to kickstart it, get the crowd into it, get the team rolling. It's just like the singles and then a stolen base and then a couple strikeouts. It's not getting this offense rolling.
It feels like that Cardinal series was a month ago.
Yeah.
It's funny how just 3 games can make it feel that way. The 0-1.
I'll be the first to tell you, when the temperature's down, the ball does not fly. Wind blowing in a touch today too, that's not going to help.
Rafi Devers on deck. Sounded like he broke the bat. He'll take it though. A base hit. Duran hits the bag and it's on back to first. Springer hustling that one in. And Jaron aboard with a single. Here comes Devers.
Four-seamer right there, in on the hands, but you'll take it any way you can get them the way this offense has been going. Just missed one down the line earlier in this at bat. Keeps this one fair. Thought about going 2, but Springer got to it pretty quick.
Devers is single in the 1st inning. Now has 14 hits in the month of April. That's tied for the major league lead.
Huh. Imagine that. Good thing we didn't trade him.
After 0 for 21. And hitting 280.
Yeah, the power will come too. Once it warms up, I just talked about that. The ball will start jumping more once it warms up.
Grand Diamond back in. He has 4 stolen bases. Red Sox have 1 today. That was Trevor Story, who singled in the 2nd inning, stole 2nd, but the Red Sox couldn't bring him in. As mentioned, first time around, Devers gets a great look at Bassett. Ground ball and a backhander. Bichette will go to the bag for the out, and he'll turn the double play. And that will retire the side. coming out to the ballpark like this, like you're headed to a wedding or maybe coming back from a wedding? I really would love to hear the story.
I was going to say, I need more on that. Get one of the bullpen guys to be like, what are you guys doing?
Sharp dressed men, though.
How many people get married on a Thursday, midday?
Yeah, well, save a couple bucks, then come out and watch the game. Well, Springer will lead things off here in the 4th inning. 0-0. Toronto 4 hits. Red Sox with 3. George hit into a double play first time up. He hasn't made many mistakes at the plate this year, hitting .436.
You can tell Buehler's being careful with him. He didn't normally go 3-0 on many guys. He had thrown coming into this inning 43 pitches, 33 strikes. Been pretty careful here. Can't say I blame him.
George Springer, a guy who fought a stuttering problem as a youngster. Takes a wicked cut, trying to hit that one 9,000 feet. Been very open about that. Another instance of a ball player helping a lot of people.
Good look at that late movement on that pitch too. Just get under the barrel.
Yanks that one to Bregman. Plenty of time. That's our number 1.
Love how Bregman and Story, they're getting ground balls, and if it gets to him quick enough, instead of the normal just like shuffle and throw, it's shuffle, 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 get closer to the bag, because when it's cold, it's hard to grip that baseball, and we've seen it throughout this series with the infield throws. These guys really using their legs and getting as close as they can to first before letting it go.
Wagner 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Career got off to a hot start with a .320 average his first 30 games. Off the end of the bat foul. Named to his very first opening day roster. And a guy they can move around. He's playing first base today.
First opening day roster, and it's right after your dad gets elected to the Hall of Fame.
Pretty good year for the Wagner family. Swing and a miss on a fastball, 94 to fan him. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, Walker's doing a really good job of using every part of the zone up there. He goes above it there to get strike 3, but he's changing speeds. He's pitching in and out to guys. It's really hard to go up there with a plan when a guy's doing that.
Brings up Clement, who has lined to third. Hit the ball sharply first time up. Former Cleveland Guardian. They've got a couple of them. Into center field, charging on it. Sadon, he'll get there. 1, 2, 3 they go for the second straight inning.
Back here at Fenway Park, and you know, when there's a mystery, you send me out to solve it. So we're here with Peter, and we've got to find out, why are we dressed so well for a baseball game?
Well, we're a few third-year law students at Harvard, and we've got our barrister's ball tonight, which is like law prom. So we thought, what better pregame than a Red Sox game in the bleachers?
And with a 4 o'clock game, you wouldn't have a whole lot of time to change, so you got to be ready for tonight now.
Exactly, yeah.
See, that's why they're law students. They're thinking 5 steps ahead of the rest of us, playing chess when we're playing checkers. So not a wedding, not a prom, but sort of a prom.
Sort of a prom, and we'll be, you know, hitting some pubs along the way down to the Fairmont Copley tonight.
So anybody who's got the game on right now, any of the pubs between here and Fairmont Copley, these guys come in, buy them a drink on Nesson. Just put it on the Will Middlebrooks tab. Guys, that's the scoop. We're underdressed. It's their world. We're living in it. Back to you.
There you go.
Wow, glad to see them hydrating.
Yes, properly hydrating as they get ready for the Harvard Law Prom, which you and I have both attended and had a wonderful time. And Casas struck out first time up. He is 0 for 1.
What's that, college?
A little college action. College boys. So we know where to go in the future for proper law advice or pub advice.
They go hand in hand.
Story on deck. A line drive by Bregman was out number 1. TC's made some new friends.
I love that he just popped out there. That's awesome.
The future retainer. And that'll miss. Casas with the 1 home run, hitting 159.
Buehler loves that really slow breaking ball at any point in the count to lefty. We've seen that a lot today. He's done it a lot in the past. Anytime he feels like a hitter is starting to gear up on his firm stuff, on his fastball and his cutter, he'll go to that really slow breaker.
Fly ball center field, and Lucas right there. 2 down. Red Sox cannot get over the hump offensively, at least not yet. Hey, make this summer unforgettable with Red Sox destinations. You can travel to see the Red Sox take on the Cubs or Braves, or enjoy Fenway weekends against the Yankees, Dodgers, and Astros. Visit redsox.com/travel to plan your trip. Well, they're waiting for the Red Sox bats to bust out again like everyone else. Trevor Story 1 for 1 with a single and a steal.
Trevor was on a 5-game hit streak, snapped it with an 0 for 4 yesterday, but so good to see him using the whole field. He's done that a lot this year so far. Middle of the field, he shooting singles to right. It's going to help him a lot, spitting on those breaking pitches, letting the fastball get deep.
Just 133 games last year, recovering from effectively a broken shoulder. Feeling good, and his batting average up to 265. 2 home runs. Two and 1.
With all the different pitches that Passage has shown and always shows, 8 pitches, a lot of them with a lot of spin and slower velocity, he only has to throw 91 for it to feel like 95, 96 to these hitters.
In there, 89. 2 and 2. Red Sox trying to avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Blue Jays. Sox were swept 6 times last year. 3 times here at Fenway. And a 2-2 on the way. Upcoming trip is Chicago to take on the White Sox, and then on to Tampa at Steinbrenner Field, spring training home of the Yankees. Tropicana won't be ready until next year after the hurricane destroyed the roof. And a cut and a miss. That pitch, that time a sweeper at 73 to strike him out. And inning 5 is presented by Salem 5 Bank. Alan Roden, who spent last year in the minor leagues and swung the bat really well at AAA, hitting .314. Leading things off, he's 1 for 1 with a base hit against Walker Buehler. Buehler set down the Toronto hitters 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd and the 4th inning. .93 for a strike.
I just love how Walker Buehler attacks the strike zone. He's not going to walk that many guys. He's going to attack you with multiple pitches in the zone.
Snuck that one by him with a cutter. Lucas Giolito, one of the starting pitchers trying to make his way to the Red Sox rotation, seemed pretty happy with his rehab outing yesterday. Talked about it earlier in the clubhouse, and that's a guy who could give the Red Sox a big lift. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Nice changeup.
It's interesting, that changeup registered at 91 miles an hour. I mean, it's a clear changeup. You can see the grip right there. But even at that velocity, that grip is going to give it that side spin you see, and the bottom just falls out of it, which is the complete opposite shape of that four-seamer that almost has a rising action. It's kind of north and south. Roden really didn't have a chance to touch that one.
Heineman pops it up. Story out calling for it. On one pitch, he's done. Giolito, when healthy over the years, has been a real workhorse. Went 14-9 for the White Sox in 2019. Made 32 starts. He's hit 178, 176, 173 innings.
You talk about Giolito and Bayo not being that far off from coming back, being in the 4-5 spot in the rotation, but if there is a silver lining at all from this series, that offensively has been bad. You had Houck and you had Buehler kind of look like themselves again, right? But Buehler never really looked like himself last year until the postseason, coming off of Tommy John,
right,
which is normal the first year post big elbow surgery, finding your command and your stuff again.
But he did in the postseason.
But seeing him and Houck look better today, why was I saying that?
That's going to drill him. Lucas couldn't get out of the way, struck by the pitch. There's a curveball right into him. And so they've got a base run with 2 down.
Get right on that ankle bone. Oh, literally right on that bone on the outside of the ankle. That's not going to feel good today. It'll feel good any day. It's chilly. It hurts even worse. I guess at least it was a breaking ball.
So a hobbled Nathan Lucas trying to take his base. He has shaken off his manager and said he's okay.
Not moving well though. He's limping around.
Center fielder trying to remain in the contest. He's struggling. It'll be Bichette next. No score, 5th inning.
Really want to make him mad. Pick over here on the first pitch.
Oh yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm not running.
Make him move. He may not leave the base. Bichette with a single and a pop-up, 1 for 2. Walker Buehler, 2-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ with the Dodgers. Tossed down at first. He has to dive back in. Two down. Bichette always good throughout his career with men on base. 326 lifetime with a runner on. 1-2.
Missed twice in his last 2 at-bats. He's had some ugly swings at that sweeper. Buehler doesn't throw it a ton, but gets a really good bite side to side on that breaking ball side to side like that. I want you to throw that more.
Off the plate. How about last night? The dude down the left field line who brought his glove to the game caught 2. Made 2 really good plays.
Yeah, one was a pop-up, and that second one was a screamer where I was kind of ducking out of the way. Like, oh, that's going to smoke somebody. And he just stood up and got it. Yeah, that was the one that was 109 off the bat. No big deal.
So you're holding one and you're catching another one. The guy's made a good point, though. Like, then you got to find a kid, right? You got to find a kid. At least one of those balls should go to like a 9-year-old, and that's going to be in there for strike 3. Bichette unhappy with Manny Gonzalez, but he is out on strikes. Inning done. And Christian Campbell leads it off and bloops that one on the move. Bichette into the outfield. Campbell's 0 for 2. He's popped up both times in front of Wilyer Abreu, who's 0 for 1. So the Red Sox offensively continue to look very sluggish with just 3 hits. They are fortunate that Walker Buehler has been very effective today.
Yeah, both of these guys. I mean, everybody for the Blue Jays in this series is throwing the ball really well. You know, we talk about the cold, we talk about the Sox offense struggling, but they've also done a really good job on the mound.
They're looking, and it's very, very early. You're talking about 13, 14 games in the season, but they're looking like they might be a miss by the prognosticators.
Yeah.
I thought their pitching was maybe a little underwhelming. It's been anything but. Again, they backed it up by making a couple of deals to get better defensively, and that's really clicked.
Kind of rebuilt the bullpen too.
Big time. Yeah, they had an awful bullpen last year. They're ranked 29th in ERA. But a whole lot better this season. Wilyer with a K, first time up.
I think, you know, we already hit on it, but the Vladdy deal getting done removes such a big distraction from this ball club, where they can almost just take a deep breath and say, all right, we don't have to worry about that anymore. This organization is going to continue to add now.
And he's a popular guy. He's very well liked within their clubhouse, their organization, and in the city. So huge win.
People forget he was born in Canada. He was born in Montreal. Obviously with his dad up there. Here Bassett not happy with himself. A couple pitches, not how he wants to throw them, leaving them up over the plate. Well, you're not able to take advantage of it.
I saw his dad hit a double off the wall on a pitch that bounced to the plate. Shot into left center field. Lucas makes the play on a sinking liner.
Jeez.
Rayo hit it right on the button, but 2 down.
That's kind of been the thing. It's been obviously a lot of strikeouts, which we talked about, but even the hard hit balls are just finding leather. Celebrate Patriots Day at Fenway Park on Monday, April 21st. The first 7,500 fans will receive an exclusive Patriots Day puffy vest. Secure your seats now at redsox.com/tickets.
Some more law students are showing up from Harvard on law prom night. A little ground ball. That one ran in on Rafaela, ate him up, and Wagner will touch the bag. Red Sox go in order. Is brought to you by Ace Ticket. Ace Ticket with the best seats at the lowest prices. This is the best he's looked in a Red Sox uniform.
Yeah, he's changing speeds well. He's always pounded the zone. We know that about him, but generating a lot of weak contact, which is nice, and getting some quick outs.
But a 0-0 game to the 6th inning. The Red Sox offense still in a deep slumber, and Jimenez will lead it off here for Toronto. He's gone 0 for 2.
This is the second time both teams have been scoreless to this point in the game. It happened on Tuesday as well.
Dribble toward third. Bregman along the line lets it roll. He made the smart call on that, and a foul ball.
Jimenez runs well. If it's a slower runner, you pick it up and take the out, even though it's a tough play coming in on it. But you know, with him running, you're probably not going to have it play at first. You just take your chances, and you can kind of see it as a third baseman, the spin on the ball. And if it is spinning sideways, let it go foul.
Yeah, he got a good read on it. Santander on deck. Jimenez, a superb defender. He's won the last 3 Gold Gloves at second base. He was with the Guardians last year. Two down low on a changeup.
It was 2023 he won the Platinum Glove. best of the best.
And he has that platinum on his game glove. Swung on and missed a curveball to strike him out. And Jimenez fans for the second time. He's 0 for 3.
We talk about the sweeper cutter combination. This is the knuckle curve. This is more of a 12 to 6er that Walker likes to throw more, especially to left-handed batters. He does not like the sweeper at all to lefties. He'll go to that one that's more of a downer.
It's fan 6. Switch hitter Santander is 1 for 2.
Walker called that a ball.
That's what I heard. That's exactly what I heard. Springer to follow. Only 4 Toronto hits. Red Sox with 3. He'll drop in a strike. Walker helped Vanderbilt to the College World Series title in 2014. And played for Yarmouth Dennis on the Cape that very year. So a touch of New England for the native of Lexington, Kentucky. And the 3-1. Big hack by Santander without a home run to this point. Toronto with the lead in the division, a half game over the Yankees, who were idle today, and then the Sox and Tampa Bay 2 back Baltimore in the basement at 5 and 8.
Love that sinking changeup. We saw it a couple times over the last couple innings, but just have the bottom fall out of it.
The Texas team the Red Sox opened up with, they are 9 and 4 atop the AL West. 3-2. Still alive.
That was the changeup I was begging Walker for. That one he pulled middle. He was trying to go down and away with it. That one got over the middle of the plate a little too much. Santander able to stay alive.
Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back. National League, Phillies have the lead on the Mets by half a game. In the NL East, Cubs are off to a pretty good start, 9 and 6. The NL Central, Padres and Dodgers both have 10 wins in the West. San Francisco's 9 and 3. Swinging a high, deep drive down the line. A little push foul. Well, that's probably the best swing he's had in this series.
He's always had a really good swing path on the pitch inside, like pitches in off the plate. He's somehow able to keep fair. That one, obviously, he tugged the cutter foul, but you got to be careful in there to this guy.
3-2 again. And pumps it in there to get him. Fastball for strike 3. 2 down.
We've seen Buehler go to 3 balls a few times in this game. He's gone 2-0 a few times and work his way back in the counts. Just freezes him with 95, the 4-seamer right down Broadway. Santander thinking he's got to go off speed here and just snuck some cheese past the mouse.
It's a long at bat, but 10 pitches and a strikeout. 7 Ks in the book here for Buehler. Brings up Springer, and a ground ball to short. Hoovered up by Story. They go 1-2-3.
Still scoreless here at Fenway as the Red Sox come up to bat. Tom Caron with you. You heard Dave O'Brien earlier talking about Lucas Giolito rehabbing last night with the Red Sox. Liam Hendricks will be pitching in Worcester tonight. The plan is for Liam to pitch tonight and again on Sunday, then they'll reassess. I talked to him today before he headed out to Worcester. And he told me the biggest difference right now, guys, is he feels he's got the late life back on his fastball. He said that wasn't there at spring training. He said the analytics say I'm throwing just as hard, same velocity. He goes, but I feel there's a little explosion at the end that I wasn't getting earlier, and that's a really good sign. He said he knew he turned the corner when he threw a fastball last week and chuckled after throwing it, saying, ha, there's my fastball. We know, watching him rehab last year, guys, when he's not happy, it's not a chuckle. It's not safe for work what he does after a pitch. So this is good news for Liam Hendricks.
So true. And to add on to what TC said, I talked to Liam yesterday, and he said 2 days ago he was long tossing, and for the first time he was able to get it all the way across the field. He hadn't felt that in 4 years, he told me.
Narvaez popping that up along the line. Springer on a sprint, coming. He dives, and he hangs on to it. What a play. Outstanding catch. Sprawling on the warning track over near the tarp. And Narvaez is retired.
So many variables on this play for a right fielder at Fenway Park. Number one, you see the amount of ground he travels. Look how far he runs for this. But with that right field being, you see the wall right there, right by the foul line. You worry about that corner. He goes into a dive and slides and then has to worry about running into the tarp. I thought maybe the ball would come out of his glove when he made contact with the tarp. He holds on to it right in the end of the glove. That's just a heck of a play.
Sold out for that. Duran 1 for 2 with a single. That's what's left over. Takes out part of the line. Did some damage to the uni. Paid a price. It's a big league play.
Or he'll get a new pair of those. It's the show. Be a new one in his locker when he goes in.
I say wear it like that the rest of the day, man. 1-1, a strike. Duran singled in the third inning, struck out in the first. By the way, happy birthday to the lovely Stephanie Doyle. Her husband says she is 22 today. He's a good husband. 2-2. Bassett into his 6th inning. Red Sox have done very little with him, just 3 hits.
Bassett's so interesting. He really pitches backwards, and unlike a lot of guys, he started this at bat with 3 splits in a row, then goes cutter up and then fastball in. It's like, as a hitter, you're like, I have no idea which direction he's going next.
Off the plate, that's ball 4, and Duran is on. So the Red Sox have a speed man aboard in front of Rafi Devers, who has really good numbers against Bassett. Today's matchup presented by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health Office of Problem Gambling Services. When every game time is time to game, easy can be a problem. Rafi 1 for 2. Runner goes, and a bobble by Heineman. Duran head first into second. That'll be another stolen base for him, number 5.
That's huge with how Devers is swinging the bat and how well he uses the monster here. Coming into today, Rafi Devers, as you see a good break right there by Jarren Duran. Since the start of the 2024 season, Rafi Devers leads baseball in slugging to the opposite field. He loves hitting here. That monster is just right in front of him. Now's a good spot for that.
8 for 16 against Bassett lifetime with 3 home runs. A golden chance to get on the board.
Well, with Duran stealing second base, it gives Bassett the option to be a little more careful with the open base. With Devers, he knows those numbers just like we do.
Pitch, a chopper, but a foul ball. We had a shot of Alex Cora there on the other end of the dugout. Moving around a little bit.
It's a little stitious. All right, switch it up, change your seat, move around. I told you I was literally plugging things in different outlets, using different pins today, like I have anything to do with the success of the Red Sox hitters.
Now, people are going to think that you're kidding, but you're not.
No, I'm not.
2-1 up top. We've seen other managers do it. Guys like Dusty Baker will move around a little bit different times, but I think you're right. There's some of that involved in the fact the Red Sox have dropped the last 3, trying to shake it up. 3-1 on Raffy. In full attack mode there, 3-2.
Yeah, he got a hanging slider, 80 miles an hour, middle in and elevated. That is the mistake he was looking for, and just missed it. I want that one back.
Red Sox in 11 innings last night managed to score only 1 run, and it was in the first inning. High fly ball, right center field, but on the move, Springer is not coming in on it. He'll make the catch. Tagging up Durant. Here's the throw. A play at third. He dives in safe. 2 down, a man 90 feet away.
In that instance right there, Jarren Duran has to make sure he knows he can be safe. Springer coming in on that ball, which gives him a lot of momentum with the throw to third base. You got to trust the speed. Make sure you don't want to make the third out at third base in a game like this.
So it'll be Bregman to dig in. He's popped up and lined out to the shortstop. Red Sox grinding offensively. Green is up in their bullpen.
About to find out what Bassett thinks about either Bregman or Casas, right? You have a base open. Who would you rather pitch to here?
The Red Sox haven't scored in forever. It was 15 scoreless innings entering this inning, going back to the extra inning game last night. Pitch number 80 for Bassett. Floated into left center field. It will get down on command, and the run is in. 1-0 Boston. Alex Bregman with his 12th run batted in. It's about time.
Yeah, right? You know, Bassett went to that big, slow sweeper off the plate first pitch. Bregman took it, and then he tries to sneak that fastball in on the hands. He does just that. You see that two-seam action running in on the hands, and Bregman hits it off the label. One-hands it and just floats it over Bichette for the RBI. Hadn't gotten to see many of those lately.
Sure haven't.
Get Tech in on it. I love that.
Casas has struck out and flied out. I think the manager has found a new spot in the dugout. Here's the 1-1. Tell you what, if Casas hits one into the bullpen, he will never move from that spot.
Seriously, move his seat down there. Now, I was telling you earlier, Red Sox are 3-0 when they score first. There's only 3 teams in all of baseball: the Red Sox, the Mets, and the Rays, who are undefeated at this point. I mean, it's early, right? But that are undefeated when they score first. So that's a big run.
The Red Sox have been walking a lot, actually. They've been striking out a lot. That's been well documented. But they've been taking ball 4 a lot. Number 2 in the American League in walks accepted. And Bassett hadn't walked anybody all day until Jarren Duran worked him for a walk. Then a stolen base, and he's the guy that scores the first run.
Even the pitch that Bregman, I don't think Bassett was trying to pitch to Bregman. I think he was kind of pitching around him, and Bregman still swung at that pitch in off the plate. I think he would rather have first and third and face Casas. Just how he's been swinging the bat.
He is due to bust out. 1-0 Sox here in the 6th. Bregman with the lead at first and 2 away. And he'll rocket that one into left field for a base hit. Beautiful swing. Bregman up to second. And the Red Sox have their 2nd hit of the inning.
I don't know if you remember towards the end of the series in Baltimore, Casas hit a low liner single just like that to left field there at Camden. Next at bat went deep to left. Sometimes it swings just like that. They get left-handed batters locked back in.
And that's going to be it for Bassett. They're going to dip into the bullpen. Green is going to be brought on. And Bassett's day is done. He had really been sailing until this inning. The walk by Duran, Bregman with a base hit, Casas with a base hit, and they go to the pen. More in a moment. At the top of the hour on NESN Plus, the Ultimate Bruins show. The Bruins game against the Blackhawks will follow. Red Sox baseball at 7 o'clock.
The Bees have like two games left or so.
Just a couple.
No, they're at the end.
Well, there's been a lost year. Trevor Story up now. He's gone 1 for 2 with a base hit as runners at first and second. Red Sox on the scoreboard 1-0 here in the 6th. And Green's first one.
And Green is going to live and die with that 4-seamer up. He loves it. He's got one of those rising fastballs that everybody's trying to figure out how to throw today's game. He throws about 60% of the time, and then he's got a slider as well that he'll get some chase down and away.
0-2. Story with a couple of home runs so far. Sox, they hit the road to Chicago and Tampa Bay. They'll be back home against those White Sox here at Fenway on the 18th. White Sox in Seattle coming in on the next homestand. They're wrapping up the first one of the year, first homestand here today, and have a chance to have a winning homestand. But it started out in grand fashion, in rollicking fashion over St. Louis, but the Sox have dropped 3 straight since then. Looking to end that today. And pressing the matter here, but there are 2 down. Bregman and Casas lead, and he gets a piece of it.
Good job by Story staying on that down and away slider after 3 fastballs above the zone.
Stand right there. Got a run on the board. Red Sox have moved ahead in hits today, 5-4 on Toronto. And now Heineman wants a word with Green. He'll head on out to the hill.
You know, something I was trying to look at, and I could kind of see it from the center field camera, was when Green goes in his glove, you can kind of see his grip. And I think maybe they were worried about trying to get a sign from Bregman relaying something into Story, because hitters, base runners look for that. If you're going to show me your grip in your glove, I'm going to let my hitter know, whether it's like a hand on my knee, hand on my hip, whatever, and try to tell you what's coming. Because if you're not going to hide it, I'm going to look. They may have tried to pick up on something, maybe saw something Bregman was doing out there and wasn't comfortable with it. Want to make sure he's hiding that grip.
1-0 Boston, 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 2 base runners. And got it by him at 96 miles an hour. Sox will get the 1-0 at the end of 6 innings. And Walker Buehler beginning the 7th. 85 pitches. Those pitches he has thrown. This is not with the Red Sox yet, but since coming back from Tommy John, that was with LA, it was 97.
He's been super efficient. There's a few occasions he's gone to 3 balls, but he's been getting some contact early in counts.
Wagner has struck out and flied out. Buehler's been very efficient. As mentioned, the best he's looked in a Red Sox uniform. Ernie Clement next, then Alan Roden. Here he's going to throw ball 4. That was on 4 straight. And the first man he's walked in this game. He'll take on Clement next.
Check out an all-new episode of NESN Clubhouse, where our kid host Isabella takes in the sights and sounds of opening day at Fenway Park. Tune in Sunday at 12:30 p.m. on NESN and streaming on NESN 360.
Red Sox turned a double play in the first inning. Get a fly ball here. Abreu and Rafaela. Rafaela's there to clinch that. 1 gone.
4 straight balls. Clement goes up there hacking at the first pitch. That was probably Buehler's last. Yeah, there it is. That was his last guy. Great outing.
So Walker's going to go into the 7th inning. And just last night, and he's not happy about coming out of the game here. You can see by some of his activity on the mound, but just last night, Tanner Houck got back on the beam, and Walker Buehler does that today. He's going to get a really fine hand at Fenway. That does the Red Sox a lot of good to see those two guys pitch back. Justin Wilson has been tough coming out of the bullpen, and he's going to do it right here with a runner at first and one away. And we'll take on Miles Straw, who will hit for Roden. Straw at .333. New acquisition for the Blue Jays over the winter. And Wagner, the base runner. Our BuyForNow.com call to the bullpen. Wilson against Toronto, 16 appearances in his career, a .245 ERA. This is 0-1. The strike. 95. 0-2. 1 run on 5 hits, an error for the Red Sox. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for Toronto.
Well, you got to be happy with Walker Buehler. You said that about Tanner Houck last night, but that was Buehler's longest start since May 8th, 2022. Threw 7 innings at Wrigley against the Cubs then.
Look at the efficiency, 89 pitches.
That's great.
Not bad at all. Line drive, and that's into left field. Wagner up to second. Shaw coming off the bench, a pinch hit single, 2 on and 1 out. Now, while Walker was on the mound, still in the game, Vladimir Guerrero, who has not played today, did have a helmet on inside their dugout. He's got it back on now. Heineman, the hitter, a single and a pop up, and Vladdy moving out to the on deck area. Had to figure he would not have a full day off. And knocked down by Narvaez.
Not in a 1-run game with a lefty on the mound. Yeah, you knew you would see him.
One away in the inning. And Slayton up in the Sox pen. And the 1-0 pitch. That one shot to left. Duran racing, can't get to it. It's off the bottom of the wall. Here comes the run. Wagner around. He will score as the throw comes home. They're going to be safely on the corners, and we've got a 1-1 game Heineman, the catcher, with a rocket. And we're starting over again.
Yeah, it's just tough. You know, Buehler pitched his tail off to put himself in a position to get a win. And just like that, it's gone. Four-seamer trying to get in on Heineman, and he just buggy whips this thing off the fence. Duran did a good job of trying to deke the runner. It slowed him up just enough, but not enough to have a play at home plate.
Charge that run to Buehler. So he gives up 1 and 6 1/3. And now Vladimir Guerrero announced as the hitter.
Buehler's going to be frustrated with that because that was that leadoff walk.
Wagner coming around to score. 1 down, and Guerrero 288, no home runs, 4 runs batted in. He has had a love affair with Fenway in his career. Just signed a franchise record 14-year, $500 million extension. And a strike on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tied 1-1 in the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. He loaded up for that one. He's played 90 games against the Sox in his career. 298 with 75 runs batted in. At Fenway, he's hitting .358. Ground ball. Campbell flips it, and the throw is off the glove of Casas, and Straw will come on in to score. And Toronto has the lead 2-1.
I want to see this flip again from Campbell. Almost looked like he kind of pump faked and then went for the flip. You see how far Story is away from second base. It's almost like Campbell acted like he was going to flip it and then held up. It's like he was, oh, that's what it was. He was going to go to the bag himself and then decided to flip it late. Trevor goes bare hand, and just an errant throw that it's got to be made. That double play's got to be turned.
Not only that, as it went by Casas, Guerrero is going to be sent to second because the baseball went inside the dugout. Now they're going to walk Bichette. And that'll be an error on Story on the throw. So the Red Sox have made 2 more errors today.
Yeah, with the shift they had on Guerrero with Campbell playing up the middle, if you're going to go to the bag yourself, you have to commit to that and just go and make the play. If you slow up at all with Trevor Story going that far to cover, it puts him in a spot where he does have to barehand and get rid of it really quick.
Jimenez 0 for 3, 2 out, 2 on, 2 runs in. So the Blue Jays back in front as they bid for a 4-game sweep here at Fenway. And the 0-1 to Jimenez.
Yet another game with a crooked number in the error column for the Boston Red Sox.
Those errors piling up again. Red Sox have made far too many on this homestand in particular. Ground ball, and Casas will handle that and win the foot race to retire the side. But suddenly the Red Sox are looking up at the Blue Jays. 2-1 Toronto. Bottom of the 7th inning, Toronto's jumped in front 2-1. And the errors by the Red Sox, as we mentioned, piling up now 14. That leads the big leagues. Well, the Ultimate Bruin Show presented by Jordan's Furniture. Currently on SN+. The game against the Blackhawks following Red Sox baseball at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Number of changes defensively for the Blue Jays as Campbell takes a pitch high. Schneider now into the game in left. Straw moves to center field. Wagner takes over at third for Clement, and Vladdy Guerrero at first. So 4 defensive changes for the Blue Jays. Campbell a couple of pop-ups so far today. As the count 3-0. Campbell, Abreu, and Rafaela due up for the Sox. Last of the 7th.
Lefty Little is up for the Blue Jays. I wonder if he's coming in this game to face Wilyer Abreu.
He's on deck. Three 3-1 on the way, and all filled up on Christian. Another low hit game, a struggle to score. Toronto 6 hits, Red Sox 5.
That's the thing. If you're playing these close games like this where there's not a lot of offense, you just can't make errors, because you can't win games without offense and errors.
And 3-2. That's going to be ball 4 and a close take. Red Sox have a base runner immediately in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Wilyer Abreu about to dig in. Wilyer has cooled off. He's 0 for his last 14 on the day. A strikeout and a liner to center. Hit that ball really well in the 5th inning, but it was caught by Lucas out there at the time. And strike 1.
He's due to break out of this little funk he's been in over the last 4 games or so.
That goes for the Red Sox as a team.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's in the hole 0-2. Cedar Rafaela up next. Both starters out of the game. Buehler and Bassett, they both threw the ball very well. And the 0-2. Red Sox at the moment at 6-7. On the road tonight. Heading for Chicago, Tampa Bay after that. Like he held up, and he did. Third base umpire Corey Blazer agreed, and it is 1-2. Abreu trying to shake him up. 1-2 from Green, and a high pop in the center. Bichette out, Straw in. Straw wants it. That's the first out in the inning. In front of Cedar Rafaela.
Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand. Plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit redsox.tv for details.
Cedar Rafaela with a pop-up and a grounder to first today. 0 for 2. Batting .216. Runner taken off. Here's the throw down. Gonna get him at second. And now did he come off the bag?
So Campbell, I mean, he beat this, but then he slid past the bag. Has that sliding mitt on the hand. Get a good look at it where he couldn't keep his hand on that base. Watch that left hand right here. Gets ahead of the throw. He's safe right there. Now the glove stays on his arm right there as the hand just goes off the bag, right off the back.
2 down.
I'll tell you, when it's not going right, it's not going right. So many ways right now.
And dramatically so. After a great series against St. Louis, the Red Sox tore the cover off the ball. Had a 13-run game, an 18-run game. But they've only scored 5 runs in the next 4 games. They've hurt themselves defensively. And now on the bases as Campbell is cut down. One and 2 on Cedon. And foul tip. That's going to be held by Heineman. That's the end of the inning. Strike 3. You know, CVS Health is a leading healthcare solutions company and a trusted partner for every meaningful moment of health. You can learn more at cvshealth.com. Well, it's growing late here. 8th inning and another tight one with Toronto in front 2-1. 6 hits for them, 5 for the Sox, and Garrett Whitlock coming out of the bullpen. And he'll get 3, 4, 5 in the Toronto order. That is Santander to start it. Garrett leading Red Sox relievers in innings pitched and strikeouts to this point in the season. Santander 1 for 3.
Whitlock trying to bounce back. He threw on April 6th against St. Louis, and it was a real cold night. Couldn't find the zone, couldn't grip the baseball, had a couple walks, gave up some hits, couple runs.
Ran it inside there with a little sweep action.
I was talking to him the other day. He said, I want to try to get to 100 innings as a reliever, which rarely see. But if he's throwing 2, he goes out there 50 times. There you go. It's pretty simple math. That's his goal, is to throw 100 innings.
2 innings twice a week. 1-2. Santander a 192 average with no home runs. Bounced up there 2-2. Whitlock trying to put him away. He gets another foul ball.
Velocity's back up though. His velo was down last time out. He was at 94 a lot. I've seen some 96s today. That's a good sign.
Sean Newcomb, the lefty, scheduled to go game 1 in Chicago tomorrow night against the White Sox at 7:40. Richard Fitz on Saturday afternoon, and Garrett Crochet at 2:10 against his old team on Sunday. 2-2 coming.
Some reports out there that the Red Sox signed Yasmani Grandal to a minor league deal. That Connor Wong injury, trying to find a little more catching depth.
2 hammered foul.
You know, the Red Sox actually drafted Grandal in the 27th round of the 2007 draft. That was my draft. He went on to Miami. He didn't sign, obviously, but it's just another depth piece. Guy that's been around, veteran.
Whitlock home again, and again fought off foul by Santander. Springer next. Vladimir Guerrero did not start, but entered the game late as a hitter. He was taking over first base, so they have all their big bats in there. A 2-1 Toronto lead. We're in the 8th inning. Long at bat for Santander. The 11th pitch is coming up. And they'll fight on.
Yeah, I don't like how comfortable he looked on that fastball right there. The more you work into these at bats as a hitter, the more comfortable you get. Whitlock's only, we'll see, he's on the changeup twice. Execute one.
Payoff pitch popped up again, and they'll continue to battle.
You know Whitlock's locked in when he's chasing fly balls. That one's up in the stands, and he started sprinting for it.
And another 3-2 coming here to Santander. And that's in there, strike 3. Snuck it by him at 95. 13 pitches that at bat.
What a battle right there by both of those guys. Santander did a great job fouling off some tough pitches from Garrett Whitlock. And Whit just barely nicks the bottom of the zone with that sinking 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Great job by Narvaez picking that thing up and stealing the strike.
Santander striking out for the 3rd consecutive at bat. And now Springer hit into a double play in the 1st inning. Since then, 2 ground balls, 1 to third, 1 to short, so he's 0 for 3. Red Sox have turned 21 double plays to lead the big leagues. That's one area that's gone right.
I remember the last time, I think just a couple times it's happened where the season's ended and a team has led baseball in double plays and errors.
Rather not even think about that
me
right
either.
now.
Nope. Nope. Shouldn't have said it.
Springer 2 home runs. He's driven in 9. That's a strike. Nobody aboard. Red Sox are running out of chances. They got a run in the 6th inning. Toronto came back 2 in the 7th. Drops in the sweeper, 2-2.
Manny Gonzalez has had at times a low zone today. This one just below it, but Narvaez, you see him, he starts with that glove on the ground and works up through the ball and steals another one.
Full count. Red Sox pitchers have only walked 2, one of those intentional. But the one that hurt was Wagner, the leadoff walk in the 7th inning. He would eventually come on in to score. That run would be charged to Walker Buehler after Walker left the game. 3-2. Tagged into center field. Rafaela back at the wall. Leaping up, can't get it. Abreu backing up into second is Springer, and he'll stop there with a double as he continues to make Fenway his own little playground. He has just been crushing the ball. A double here with 1 down.
Yeah, another ringing double from Springer. It's a 2-seamer that Garrett missed a spot, ran back over the middle. Rafaela sells out, sacrificed the body there, trying to go up and make a play. Hits the wall really hard. That arm extended, a glove flying off. Willier and Duran, good job of backing that up, knowing they can play it off the wall, holding it to just a double.
Springer 7 for 13 in the series. Swung on and missed here by Wagner, and again a walk and a run for him. One down, a man in scoring position for Toronto. And that's a giant run out there. The way the Red Sox have been swinging the bats. And Whitlock's 0-2. Play on, and Springer will dive in safely.
Yeah, I like that play. You know you're probably not going to pick him off there, but at least puts it in the back of his mind. Maybe he shortens up that lead by a step.
His uniform has really taken a beating. A swing and a miss on the slider. He is out on strikes. So 2 down.
Whitlock's done a good job with his off speed, starting it in the zone, working it down below. That's a perfect 0-2 pitch.
Is Schneider, Davis Schneider.
He's 0 for 16 to start his season.
No home runs, no RBIs. Broke in a couple of years ago and really tore up the Red Sox.
Oh yeah, I remember that here at Fenway.
Same mustache too.
I feel like once you get to 0 for 20, you got to shave it.
That's the rule. To outside, and he's falling behind 3-0. Springer off the bag at second. Trying to come all the way back and deals a strike. And maybe a bit of a gimme.
Yeah, Manny's had a big zone. Really big zone today. This is well above the zone. You'll take it in the 3-0 count. Toronto's starting to really chirp a lot from the dugout.
Good count for Schneider. 3-2. Full count, 2 down. Third full count of the inning here for Whitlock. So he's up to 27 pitches. 2 down though. Trying to end it on a pinch hitter. And he will miss with that. The automatic strike was worse than that one. But runners on at first and second.
Yeah, that dugout, Toronto dugout would have come unglued had he called that one.
And Andrew Bailey coming out. Not Alex Cora. Bailey does not make pitching changes. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. And a couple of base runners. Earlier today, the Angels pummeled Tampa Bay 11-1. They turned 4 double plays in that game. Angels are 8-4. Decent start. And the Harvard contingent has only grown over the last couple of innings. On Law Prom Day or night. Scouting report is after the game, maybe hit a pub or two. Put those tuxedos to work. Here's Miles Straw, and he will look at ball 1. And Whitlock just has to hold here at all costs. Red Sox only 5 hits on the day, and that is through their first strike.
Well, I know they like Whitlock to go multiple innings, but that pitch count's getting up there right now.
Yeah. It's number 31 right here. Serve too short. Story goes the short way to retire the side, so he survives it. He remains 2-1 in the middle of the 8th. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, providing first aid at Fenway and supporting Red Sox scholars. You can learn more at bidmc.org. Last half of the 8th inning, 2-1 Toronto. Red Sox have only scored 5 runs in the entire series. Rob Refsnyder is going to bat against Little, the lefty. He'll hit for Narvaez, who went 0 for 2. Brennan Little, his 8th appearance, a .450 earned run average. Rob coming on against the left-hander. Swinging a good bat, hitting .364.
Little has a really good sinker, a lot of depth. You saw it right there. The bottom falls out of it. He throws that a lot. He's got a curveball and a mix and a cutter at times.
And a 1-1. Hammer to third. Off the glove of Wagner and into left field. And the Red Sox have a leadoff man aboard on an E5.
Yeah, those hard hit topspin balls like that, you either have to come up and get that short hop right there, or you have to take that 45-degree angle and take yourself deeper, because it hits and it like speeds up with that topspin. If you just go straight across, you run into that issue a lot.
The roll is Chapman warming in the pen. And here's Duran, who has scored the Red Sox run. Flies that one down the left field line, slicing and off into the stands. Also has a base hit along with that walk in the 6th inning, but after the walk he stole a base and scored a run on the Bregman RBI single. Sox trying to come alive again the way they were against St. Louis and Baltimore before that, before it's too late against Toronto.
Would not expect Refsnyder to be running. It's tough on the lefty. Refsnyder not exactly a burner. Last inning when Campbell was caught stealing, that was the first time this entire season the Red Sox got caught stealing.
Devers on deck. He held up. 2-1. Refsnyder aboard at first, nobody out. Another good take there. 3-1. Hitters count for Jarren Duran. And another one there. Good take. Really good take there for ball 4. So the Red Sox trying to rally. First and second, nobody out.
Little will have to at least face Raffy Devers. Got to face a 3-batter minimum. That one was just off. Seen a lot worse called today, that's for sure. Jimmy Garcia down there warming up for the Blue Jays. Would expect, unless he gets a quick out here, for him to come in and face Bregman.
Pete Walker, longtime pitching coach, out to the mound. And Manny Gonzalez heading out to break it up. Well, Raffy started his day with a single to give him 14 hits in the month of April, tied for first in the majors. He's also hit into a double play and fly out, so 1 for 3 today.
Well, number 15 will be a big one. Nice to see it right here.
Refsnyder at second and Duran on at first. Nobody out. And he lays off a pitch downstairs. Ball 1.
Really have to get Little up in the zone. As you see, I mean, he's spiking his fastball. He's known for that heavy sinker, but you have to see him up for it to be a good pitch to hit.
Wheeling away on a sinker, 1-1.
That's why if it starts in the bottom third of the zone, it is going to end up being a ball way below with that downward action. You have to see him almost be at the top of the zone for it to end up being a good pitch to hit.
Raphael 14 for his last 31. And a block by Heineman. Devers leading the Red Sox in RBIs last year. The first player ever to lead the Red Sox in RBIs in 5 consecutive seasons. Then 2-1. He's going to take ball 3. One more like that, and they're all loaded up for Bregman. Red Sox team overdue for an explosion again. And Devers with a 3-1 coming. Oof. Full count.
That was the one. He wasn't just trying to drive in one either. He was trying to put 3 more on the board.
Little with 13 pitches, only 5 strikes. walk and an error in the inning.
It's been all sinkers in this at bat. He wants that ground ball.
3-2 coming. And struck him out. One away.
For a guy in Little who just couldn't find the zone, he sure figured it out there in that at bat. You see that downward sinking fastball. It's a good pitch for him when he can find the zone. Raffy swinging over the top of it.
Schneider out of the dugout calling for Garcia. We'll take the break as well. It'll be Bregman about to climb in, and we'll have more from Fenway right after this. Bruins face-off live presented by Echo Store Technologies, currently on NESN Plus. Bruins game against the Blackhawks will follow Red Sox baseball at 7 o'clock Eastern time. 2 on 1 out. Garcia's first one is up high. Bregman has gone 1 for 3. He has driven in the lone Red Sox run today. Garcia very much a strikeout pitcher. Ref Snyder at second, Duran at first. Yanked to third, down for it Wagner to second, and on the first, close, safe there. So no double play. And Duran ruled out at second. So they're on the corners.
Probably checking a couple things here. It's hard to see if he was safer out at first, but also seeing if Jarren Duran slid past the bag at second base, because that would be considered interference. Here's the first look to see if it's out or safe. Yeah, he's safe there. He just beat that. It's close though.
But they're taking a look at the play.
You get a good look here, Jarren. See if he stays on the base. It's the only other thing I could think of. Yeah, he's staying on it with his knee. They were just checking everything is what they were doing.
So there will not be a review, even though it looked like he had made a move to it. They will wave that off. So runners at first and third with 2 away, and Casas, who has gone 1 for 3, will bat here. He's due for a big hit. And a block by Heineman. It rolls away. Here comes the run. Left center dives in. He scores. Bregman heading all the way down to third. And the Red Sox tie it as that one got away from Heineman.
Heineman's trying to say, he was pointing at Casas saying something. Maybe he thinking he interfered with the baseball in some way.
Where did he think it hit him? Snyder's coming out.
A good look here. Breaking ball down and in.
Ooh.
I don't know. It kind of looked like it hopped over his foot. It did. It was headed towards it, but it looked like it hit the dirt before. Look at a good view here from the side where it hits the dirt.
Toronto's challenging whether the batter was hit by the pitch. The call in the field
That
was
looks
no
like it
hit by
hit in
pitch.
front and bounced over the foot. I can see where Heineman thinks that because he saw where it hit in front of the foot, but I didn't see contact.
Hey, New York, it's Ronnie.
So they're going to review that. On the field, they said no, it did not hit him.
At first, I thought Heineman maybe didn't see where the ball went when he blocked it, but I think he initially just thought it hit Casas, so he didn't go after it. I really don't think that got his foot. You can see it hit the dirt front, and then that's over his foot. If that hits his foot, it's going to bounce a lot higher. That stayed on the original trajectory from the original bounce. That's just dirt. From the front view, you can't see it. From the side view, I feel like it shows it pretty clearly.
The call in the field is confirmed. No hit by pitch. Toronto will lose the challenge.
Ron Culpa, they will lose that challenge. And the call goes the Red Sox way. Take another look.
You can see it clear right there, right over the foot. I mean, it's close, but it would have redirected even more had that caught the top of Casas' foot. Heineman actually, he did lose it because it went behind Casas and he couldn't see it at all, so that helped as well.
Red Sox have tied the game, and they have the go-ahead man at third in Alex Bregman with 2 down. Casas gets a piece of it, attacking a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2 game. Red Sox have tied the game up without the benefit of a hit.
Yeah, really good job by Alex Bregman getting all the way to third base in that craziness of everyone trying to find the ball, thinking it's hit by pitch. It wasn't a dead ball yet. He did a good job getting to third.
Sharp base running too by Ref Snyder.
Yes.
Staggered a bit, but then came racing home. And time granted. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, a man at third base. With Chapman all loosened up in the bullpen. Sox trying to take the lead. 1-2. Aroldis is ready. And Garcia with a 1-2. All even up. Red Sox are desperate for a win. They could care less how they get it.
Definitely. Garcia's gone in with the fastball twice here. You just gotta wonder, is he trying to set up that curveball down and in? You know, he spiked it once already. Maybe he's not trusting it as much with the runner at third base.
2-2. And a high fly ball left field, driving back Schneider on the warning track. He's got it. Side retired. The Red Sox do tie it. We're 2-2 at the end of 8. Another one with high anxiety as we bring you the ninth inning at Fenway, and Aroldis Chapman coming on in a 2-2 game. He tossed a scoreless ninth inning last night against Toronto with 2 strikeouts. Sable will take over behind the plate. And Heineman just involved in a bit of controversy. Looks a strike. Chapman with a couple of punch outs. Last night he struck out Jimenez on a 102-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, we hadn't seen the 102 yet this season until yesterday. You know, he backs off at 96, 97 to throw more strikes, and then he can always reach back for that 102.
Heineman with a bounding ball and ruled fair past the diving Bregman off the sidewall. That'll be a base hit. And for Heineman, his 3rd hit of the day. He's 3 for 4. That's on the 9th inning gets underway.
4-seamer from Chapman in. Heineman just sitting on that fastball in. He gets the head out just right over the bag and just past the diving Bregman. And that is right over the bag.
Now Vladimir Guerrero, his 2nd at bat today. 0 for 1, hit into a fielder's choice last time. Fly ball center field. Rafaela's got it measured, hit practically right at him. 1 man away.
I mean, that was power versus power right there.
Time for a strong play of the game presented by New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
I mean, how good was Walker Buehler today? 7 strikeouts overall. These are his last 4. He just did such a good job pitching to the edges, up, down, in, out, and then working the breaking ball and off speed off of those fastballs. Really created a lot of off speed swings and some good takes for strike 3s.
Brings up Bichette. 1 for 3. He was intentionally walked last time. So great news the last 2 nights by Red Sox starters who needed to have bounce back performances. Yeah. Tanner Houck and Walker Buehler.
That was it. They were both so efficient, right? Like they're pounding the zone early in counts, finding weak contact. It's fun to watch.
The strike to Bichette at 101 miles an hour.
It's just good pace to the game, and as a defender playing behind them, you love that. It's fast paced. They're in the zone. They're not walking guys. Now, Walker didn't walk anybody till the leadoff batter there in the 7th.
First time this season the Red Sox have had back-to-back quality starts. And the 0-2.
Chapman's feeling pretty good. There's been a lot of 100s and 101s so far through these first 3 batters.
101. 3 straight. 2-2 in the 9th. And Heineman on at first. He runs. Swung on and missed. The throw down. Well in front of second base. But a strikeout at home plate.
Heineman got a really good jump. Sabal really had no chance. Chapman pretty slow to the plate with a big leg kick. Really reaching back to get up to 101 right there. No chance to throw him out. You see the jump right there. It's a good base running.
They do have the go-ahead run at second here with 2 away in the 9th. It brings up Jimenez, who is 0 for 4. And he's 0 for 6 against Chapman in his career with 4 strikeouts.
Well, you see swings like that. After you look up at the board and you see 100, 101, 101, 102, it's like, all right, I'm going to gear up for this. And then he breaks off some nasty stuff first pitch.
0-1. And for the Red Sox, due up in the bottom of the 9th inning, it's Story, Campbell, and Abreu. But Chapman has to get through the top half unscathed. Toronto 8 hits, Red Sox only 5. In there for a strike with the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I say here's where you reach back for that whole 102 he has in his back pocket. Both strikes in this at bat to Jimenez have been sliders.
filthy.
It's nasty.
Did not go with the heat. Big smile there. It's 2-2 to the bottom of the ninth. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Subaru of New England and the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. SubaruofNewEngland.com. By Salem 5. Count on the power of 5. Make your move. And by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Grab your Viva Tequila Seltzer today at all Market Basket locations. Bottom of the ninth inning. Trevor Story to lead it off in a 2-2 tie. And did not swing there. He's gone 1 for 3 with a single today.
Last year, Toronto were tied for the lead with 14 blown leads in the 8th inning or later. Red Sox had 3 of those against Toronto.
Story good numbers against this guy, Garcia. 1-1. And a single and a stolen base in the 2nd inning. Red Sox didn't score until the 6th. They tied it without a hit in the 8th. Not close on that sweeper. 1-2. Campbell next, and then Wilyer Abreu. Sox played 11 innings last night and suffered their 3rd consecutive defeat. That was at just 2 hours and 31 minutes to play 11 innings. Would rather not go extras again. They've got a flight to Chicago tonight. And a weekend series against the White Sox coming up.
Don't forget prom. Big prom tonight.
Pop foul. Back into the seats. One and 2 on Story. And Garcia home with a 1-2 pitch. Line shot down into the corner and a foul ball. He hit a bullet but foul.
Leadoff double would have been glorious.
And again gets a good look at Garcia. 4 for 7 off him. Red Sox have only scored 6 runs in the entire series. They have been really frustrated with the bats. 1-2. Hard hit and through for a single past Bichette. He really does get a good look at Garcia, and he's on with his second hit today.
Sure does. Hard contact, 2 pitches in a row. That's huge. Get that lead runner on here in the bottom of the ninth. Put some pressure on the Blue Jays. That is a hanger. He got 2 of those in a row. Didn't miss on that one. Shoots it through for the leadoff single.
The rookie Campbell next. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-ups and a walk today. Story, of course, good wheels. He's running. The pitch low. Here's the throw, and they're not going to get him. Story with the theft. Red Sox putting their outstanding speed to good use, and they have the winning run at second. His second stolen base today, his 4th of the season.
That's what this team can do. They just haven't had much traffic on the base pass, but they're at their best when they can do that, and they can put pressure on you as a defense.
Campbell trying to end it. Nobody out, the 1-0. Line drive into left field. Schneider closing. He'll make the play. Story back to second. And 1 out. And here comes Willier.
Another one hit on the screws, just right at an outfielder.
So Willier has already been in a winner's circle as far as walking off a game. See what they do here. They're going to put him on. Yeah, they're going to walk him. So that'll put first and second aboard with 1 away. And all attention on Cedar Rafaela. 0 for 3. Cedar's popped up, grounded to first, and struck out. He has had a brilliant defensive moment, that great catch in right field in this series, but nothing with the bat yet.
But he's been going much better over his last 7, hitting over 300. Just a couple strikeouts.
Overall 211, 6 runs batted in, and right through that one.
Yeah, got him a hanger right there. That's the one from Garcia we saw to Trevor Story a couple times. Those were the ones you have to make it hurt.
Drove in 75 runs last year. Cedar did. Here's the 0-1. Sable on deck. You really want to take care of this right here. Here comes the 0-2. Left it up.
You can't hit for Sabal. You don't have any more catchers. Ref Snyder hit for Narvaez in the 8th.
Story. The big run at second. Here's the pitch. And down he goes Hackett. Strike 3. 2 away. Red Sox got the leadoff man on. And Story then quickly stole a bag, and they were in great shape, and now 2 away. It's 11 games last year with the Giants for Blake. Can he come through here today for his new team? They lead at first and second. He goes after the first one and threw that for strike 1. Two in the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox backup catcher Blake Sabol. And a strike. 0-2. Red Sox giving themselves a great shot here in the bottom of the 9th, but will it die on the vine? And Garcia with the 0-2. And struck him out on 3 pitches to retire the side, and we are going to 10 again. 2-2. Sox are going extra innings. The second night in a row. The Bruins game against the Blackhawks is currently on NESN Plus, and we'll follow Red Sox baseball right here on NESN. Puck dropped at 7:08. 7 minutes away. Bernardino on as we go to the 10th. And Andres Jimenez, who struck out in the 9th inning, will be the ghost runner. So extras once more.
And the Sox had a really good opportunity. Got Trevor Story to second base with no outs. Did nothing to show for it. Seen that a lot lately.
Santander, kind of a long day. Single in the first inning. Next 3 times he has struck out. Last 2 times looking. But a big time run producer for the last several years. Really underrated, I think, with Baltimore.
Bernardino going to that inside move to second base, not necessarily to make a play on Jimenez at second, but just to see if anybody's thinking about, for some reason, putting a bunt down, which Santander is not that guy at all to be bunting. I think Alex Bregman will tell you that. That's why he's playing back.
Tech is the keeper of the pitch com, and they'll pitch this one out to Bernie here. Getting the new one. 2 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Toronto. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Sox today. So frankly, both sides have struggled offensively against some pretty good pitching. It was the case last night too, which ended 2-1.
And these errors just keep, in these close games, they kill you.
So new pitch com. And a strike on Santander. Walker Buehler really good today. Does the Red Sox soul a lot of good. 6 1/3. 1 run charge after he left the game. 7 strikeouts. Only 4 hits. Red Sox needed that. He needed that. A dribbler. Sable will handle it and make the play. Kind of threw a changeup. Jimenez down to third. And 1 gone.
It was awkward for Sable because it's right in front of the plate, so he couldn't just pick it up, turn, and throw because the base runner was in his way to make a throw. He had to move his body further inside. That was a little bit of an awkward throw. You'll see him trying to move his body further out so he doesn't hit the base runner there.
Infield in. George Springer up. Tore into a double last time off the center field wall. He's 1 for 4 today. Try to hold up, and it's inside. They do appeal and no swing.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind pitching around him right now. Set up a chance to turn into a double play and getting out of this.
You're not alone.
The lefty and Wagner up there on deck.
1-1.
Don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to attack Springer here unless you're going to try to just get him to chase out of the zone, which he will do at times.
He has 7 hits in the series, including a home run. Again had a notion, but a strike anyway. And it's 1-2. Toronto with a runner in third in Jimenez. We are in the 10th. And Sable tried to pull that back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. George at the moment at .429 with 2 homers. Bernardino's 2-2. Fly ball into right. Abreu coming in. Jimenez trying to score, and the throw is going to be well offline, and Toronto takes the lead 3-2.
Just don't know why you're pitching to George Springer there. You have a base open, 1 out. That good of a hitter, especially here at Fenway. It's righty on lefty. You had a lefty on deck. Just made sense for me to just put Springer on or pitch around him.
Yeah, and Willier upset at himself for the poor throw. In any event, 3-2 Toronto. It brings up Wagner with 2 down. So the Red Sox trailing again. Feels like they've been trailing all series long. And in there for a strike on Wagner. He's gone 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. Springer has consistently hurt the Red Sox throughout the series. He's had a couple of big sacrifice flies. He started out 6 for 8. And nothing in 2. Squibber foul. We go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. Red Sox will have the top of the order up. It'll be Jarren Duran, Rafi Devers, Alex Bregman. They will be trailing again. Hammered foul. And the 0-2 knocked down by Sable. Red Sox are going to have to rally. If they can't, they're going to drop to 6 and 8, heading on the road to Chicago and Tampa Bay. That was after winning back-to-back series. Popped up into left center, moving on in Rafaela. Side retired. Red Sox have to bounce back, down 3-2 to the bottom of the 10th. Is currently on NESN Plus, and the Bruins game will follow Red Sox baseball right here on NESN. Red Sox trail 3-2 to the bottom of the 10th, and of course we'll have the ghost runner, and Sandlin is on as the Red Sox will bring up the top of the order. Guys you want to see: Duran, Devers, Bregman, and Sable is the ghost runner after striking out in the 9th inning.
Sox have only scored the ghost runner 1 time in 3 extra innings played so far this season.
Now Duran, now he's walked 2 times. He has scored a run. Also has a base hit today. He was part of the uprising in the 8th inning when the Red Sox tied it without the benefit of a hit. There was a key error there by Toronto. Jarren driving that one in right center field, a base hit. Sable rounding, he's going to score, and the Red Sox have quickly tied it. Jarren Duran, his 2nd knock on the day, and his 8th RBI, his biggest of the year to this point. 3-3.
Yeah, that's a big one. Tying this thing up in the 10th. That's Duran's 4th time on base in the last 4 at-bats. It's a changeup right there over the heart of the plate and just does what good hitters do. Stay to the big part, stay up the middle. Don't try to do too much. A single ties this thing. It's a professional at bat. Great swing.
Now Rafi Devers 1 for 4 today as Duran gets back in. He does have a theft. He's a perfect 5 for 5.
Sandlin throws a lot of off speed. This is a good guy to steal on.
He's backing safely.
A lot of situations like this, you'll see guys like this in this situation pick over twice. Now he's out of pickoffs. But early in counts like this, you can go fastball up and away, essentially a pitch out if you want to try to combat the stolen base.
Not running. Pitch out.
That's it. Many base runners say, oh, he picked twice, I'm going. Well, that early in the count, you can give up a ball and you go pitch out right there, try to catch him.
See about 3 of those a year now. There he goes. Big jump. Here's the throw down. The dive. He's out. He got him. Terrific throw by Heineman. Will the Red Sox challenge the play? They won't. And he is out at second.
Yeah, so many times it doesn't have to be a perfect throw right on the bag to get these guys. If you throw it into the baseline like that and it lets the glove take it into the body of the base stealer, you can catch a lot of guys like that. If that throw is to the base, Jaron's probably safe.
Bichette with the tag. Rafi will take outside, so 1 away. Tying run home, 3-3 game. Bregman on deck. Rafi is single in the 1st inning, looking for hit number 2. And he's going to get it. He tags that into right center field. And we're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's why you try to get to second base with Duran. He's been so good stealing bags. He got a slider to go on behind him and just having himself a day. 3 hits, throwing out guys. That was a perfect throw.
Now Bregman, Alex on the day, has an RBI. That was on a single in the 6th inning to drive in Duran. 1 for 3 against Sandlin. Hits are even at 8. And he'll take a strike with a slider. So the Sox fighting back here. Another extra inning game. Casas on deck. Well outside. Heineman had a lurch for that. That is a couple of gigantic bank accounts at first base.
Like to beat those guys every 2 weeks.
To be their realtor. 1-1. Got inside on him and hit it. Bregman will take his base hit by the pitch. 1st and 2nd. And Casas next.
Wonder if they consider running Hamilton for Devers here. Like that's a good spot for it. Put some speed out there. Make sure you can have a real good chance to score on a single.
Indeed, good guess, and it'll be Hamilton coming out. He will run for Rafi. I mean, I'd love to see the 100-yard dash between Hamilton and Duran. Romy Gonzalez, another guy who can really haul, but
yeah. I like Hamilton though. It's a different kind of speed.
So the potential winning run out there at second. The Sox in dire need of something good to happen today. Trying to avoid a sweep, but also start off on a road trip on a very positive note, and Tristan Casas can make that happen right here.
Yeah, this would just be the 2nd time the Blue Jays have had a 4-game sweep at Fenway Park. The other time was in 1988.
Tristan on a day 1 for 4 with a single. Only one man out. Hamilton now the runner at second. And he'll knock that foul. Just a little blooper, a bleeder. All it would take to get Hamilton in. Trevor Story would hit next. 3-3, bottom of the 10th. And Costas eyes a strike.
Rarely see back-to-back fastballs from Sandlin. He's about 70% off speed between that slider and the split. Goes back-to-back with the fastballs there.
Line score identical for both teams. 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Game right about 3 hours old. And Sandlin with the 0-2. Left it down. Hamilton and Bregman on the bases. The Harvard prom guys are up. They want this to be a truly memorable day and evening. 1-2. And he did not offer, and that is a ball, and the count 2-2. Could have been a strike.
It's almost like Manny Gonzalez reacts to the hitters, right? You see the Costas lean back, and he's thinking, oh yeah, there's no way that was a strike if he leaned back.
It's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, it was.
1 out. He'll whirl but not throw. Red Sox trying to put this one on ice. 2-2 on Tristan. And he'll take that one downstairs. And that one got him. He got hit by the pitch. Remember earlier they thought one hit him and it didn't. After review it was upheld. Now the bases are loaded and he is hit by a pitch.
Breaking ball right there. That was a little higher. I think that one got his knee. Good look at it here. That back, that left leg. Yep, right off of that knee.
So that's back-to-back hit batsman. Bregman got hit too.
Yeah, Bregman with the fastball. Got Costas with the slider. All right, we talked about this pregame. Put the ball in play. Give yourself a chance.
Trevor Story and a strike. Infield leaning in. Outfield in shallow too. Red Sox had the same scenario last night in extra innings. Could not get the big hit. Ken Story, who's gone 2 for 4. Red Sox with a man at every base. Hamilton at third. 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Trevor got the pitch he was looking for. That slider that he throws so much. When he took that fastball first pitch, it told me everything I needed to know what he was looking for. Sandlin just executed that one down and away. A swing and miss.
You know, Hamilton's so fast, it does not have to be a long fly ball to win this ball game. 0-2. Just got to make contact. Stay away from the strikeouts. Bases jammed. Everybody up in the ballpark. Sandlin will have Heineman come out now. And Bichette coming over from short. Well, another anxious evening at Fenway. These low-scoring games. Red Sox trying to snap a 3-game skid. Got the victory flag ready. It falls on the shoulders of the veteran shortstop Trevor Story here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here it comes. And he wouldn't go after it on the split, and it's 2-2. Young Christian Campbell on deck. Story trying to end it right here. One man away. Couple of hits, couple of hit batsmen in the inning.
That's where you just have to fight and claw, find a way to get the ball in play.
And a 2-2 to Story. Grounded foul.
Back-to-back splitters. He hardly ever throws those to right-handed batters. I'm assuming that's what the mound visit was with Heineman, because going out there, he didn't want a lot of shake-offs and all that back and forth. So he probably went out and said, hey, I'm going to call the splitter here, because he's probably up there looking for the slider.
Sandlin again, a 2-2. Little dribbler on the infield, and then there's a bobble, and the Red Sox get the run, and the Sox have won it. A Gold Glover at second base, and he muffed it, and the Red Sox win the game 4-3.
Boy, did they need that, and isn't that just proof of everything we've talked about over the last few days? You don't have to crush it in these situations. Just find a way to put the ball in play, and things will happen. Weird things happen in extra innings with infields in. That was it right there. Platinum Glover at second base. Couldn't glove it and make the play.
Hamilton comes scampering home for third, and the Red Sox get a bit of a gift there, but they'll take it. And they snap the 3-game skid, and Trevor Story writes a nice ending to this one. He put it in play. Of all people, Jimenez booting the ball at the end there. And the Red Sox will steal this one, 4-3 the final in 10. So they head for the road with a 1-game winning streak.
Yeah,